What you doing out in these streets, Slay Rule? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out? What you doing out? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out in these streets, Slay Rule? We in these streets. Disclaimer: I've never done an episode like this before. I've never come out to an establishment to do an episode. So yeah, this is a new experience for me. I'm already seeing why this was necessary to come out over here.
Yeah.
You eat this, you sleep this, you breathe this. I can see it in your blood.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I see graffiti, I see art.
Yeah.
You know. So thank you for having me over here. Thank you for your hospitality.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity as well to feature. Appreciate it.
No, it's my pleasure. It's my honor. So first of all, how did you get into tattooing? Is being a tattoo artist always something you wanted to do, or did something lead to another that led you to this path? Or?
I think that I never really thought of tattooing. I fell in love with the art before I even thought of getting tattooed. I think that as a kid, I wanted to be what they used to call that time a cartoonist. So into animation and so forth.
Wow.
And then what happened actually was that growing up in Manenberg, proudly from Manenberg, there wasn't really money to go study further and so forth. So after matric, I then endeavored into the branding industry, which was printing and so forth. But I always used to draw and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. So art was your first love?
No, always. I was the kid with the coloring book and stuff like that. So it was always like my safe place. Know what I mean? So I spent a lot of time drawing. Even in high school, I used to draw on clothing and used to sell it and stuff like that. So yeah, that was chilled. Yeah.
Wow. So you found you could express yourself through art best.
Yes, no, for sure. Look, in the end, look, like even with hip hop, I fell in love with hip hop when I was, say, grade 7, standard 5. That was probably 100 years ago. So the first song that I ever heard was KRS-One with BDP, Jimmy. And I thought, yo, this is amazing. Know what I mean? And those times the bass was still there, and hence why it was a ritual that we had, that we used to go every weekend, and it was just fun and stuff like that. That was the time where Gatsby's were born. Know what I mean? So yeah.
What about that song spoke to you that made you fall in love with hip hop?
I think that I think it was just the boom bat sort of beat and the J, the I, the M, the M, the Y. Yo, it was dope. Yeah,
that's dope. I remember that. You don't find many artists still doing that these days.
Yeah.
It's always the more 808 sound, the trap sound, but you don't find boom bap anymore. Yeah.
But I actually think though that slowly it's coming back again, and slowly the real the non-so hip hop that is called, or whatever you want to call it, I think it's slowly going out, because the authenticity of actual hip hop is still recognized today, man. And it's not just like an old school thing.
Yeah.
Like even if you listen to the last album of Nas, the KD3.
Yes.
Know what I mean?
Yes.
That is like mind blowing.
Yeah.
That sounded like Illmatic.
Yes.
In a sense.
2 and 3 was amazing.
Away. Yeah.
Yo, that really took me back.
Yeah, like even like what was it? Track, that album of R.A. All My Enemies Are Dead.
Yes.
Yo, that from beginning to end was a classic. You know what I mean?
You can just press play.
Exactly, and he features like Ice-T on there, and I mean, it was dope.
Yeah.
So
How do you feel about like the new school of hip hop now, with the new sound, the new way of the flow, the lyrics, the content itself? How do you feel about that now?
yeah, I think that in essence, that is where the old school part of me comes in, where I'm not good at, say, I'm very open-minded, but there's certain things where I refuse to adapt. Know what I mean? So I get a lot of flack when I say I don't like J. Cole or I don't like Kendrick Lamar.
Really, you don't like
Oh wait,
Kendrick?
but I must get J. Cole, I must give J. Cole a chance. I know that. But Kendrick Lamar again, I believe that your voice is an instrument, right?
Facts.
So in the end, if I don't like your voice,
That's big.
you see,
That's big.
then I can't feel you. Know what I mean?
I get that. I really get that. He's one of the voices, like, he's the way he delivers and his
Yeah.
flow and his content is great.
Yes.
But I'm not one who really enjoys his voice as much as the next person.
Yes,
I know what
away.
you mean with that.
Yeah, it's
I
a
know
little
what
bit
you mean.
squeaky. I'm not sure. Like, say, if you listen to, say, Common.
It's very nasally.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Like, if you listen to Common, he sounds like a Denzel on a mic. Do you understand what I'm
I've never
saying?
that analogy, but
Away.
I get you.
And even like your myth and whatever, but then you get somebody like, say Eminem, and then, I don't know if you ever heard of Slain.
No, I've never
Slain,
Slain.
right? Now, Slain is also a dope MC. He's actually one of the people that has a big influence on me, where just by the way, I actually stopped drinking, and that was the 13th of May would be a year. But I actually looked up to him because his last album explained his recovery process and whatnot. And we even had like conversations on inbox on Instagram and whatever, and I just thanked him for his inspiration and whatnot. But coming to sort of, there's certain MCs that has kind of the same flow, and then you're thinking, okay, is this part of it, or is this a bite or whatnot or whatever? But everybody's got their own style though, know what I mean? But you can see there's a generic part of it. It's like somebody's sampling something, but you're not getting it yet, but for some reason you're liking it, but without you knowing it, in the back of your mind there's a beat or a sample that you're hearing, but you obviously
Yes,
know that,
yes,
know what I mean?
yes.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I just want to go back. You touched on giving up drinking.
yeah.
Like, how did that happen? Like, why did you give up drinking?
Yeah, basically it started by me. I wanted to declutter my brain, right? So I wanted just to, and don't get me wrong, I love drinking or whatever.
Who
But
doesn't?
yeah, so but yeah, I can still taste it. My God! But in any case, it started by me trying to or wanting to declutter my brain. And then I purposely started counting the days just to kind of, as if it was like a goal or whatever. So the 100 days came and I thought, okay, why not just go any further or whatever. And then the 200 days came and I'm thinking, actually, do you know what? Only now, almost a year later, I'm now feeling complete. I'm seeing more clearer. I'm doing things that I know if I was drinking, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So the problem is that I have no issues with alcohol, no issues. But the unfortunate part of the whole matter is that alcohol in essence is bad for you. In small moderations, in large, obviously, whatever. So I don't want to sound like a hypocrite and be like, no, alcohol is bad for you. Fucking Jesus drank alcohol, know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I mean, man, in essence, yeah, it's it's just something that I felt I didn't want to do anymore.
Did you have a problem with it? Like a drinking problem? Or?
I don't, no, I didn't. I think that I just associated having fun with drinking. Do you understand? Or having, say, a braai or whatever to drinking.
Yes.
Do you understand? Where then I realized, but actually it doesn't have to be like that. Do you understand? And to be honest with you, if I do the math, then I have been drinking more than half of my life.
Whoa.
Do you understand?
That's a long time.
So I'm 47 already, right? So I started drinking when I was in high school. So I mean, I was brought up, obviously, I grew up in Manenberg. So the one thing that I had to take my hat off was that my mom used to tell me, look here, if you want to drink or whatever at school, but you're going to drink at home. You're not going to walk the streets or whatever. So it wasn't, as long as there were respect and it was done behind closed doors or whatever, then she knows where I am. Do you understand? So I would say that that is a good thing as well, as to not have secrets, especially with kids and stuff like that. Do you understand? I'm not condoning it.
Yes.
I'm just saying that that helped me under the conditions where I grew up in. So yeah, that it boils down to that.
Okay. When you say declutter your mind,
Yeah.
did you have a lot of unanswered questions? Or?
Yes. I would say that I had a lot. And what I mean by it is that I would say that, you know, the saying is that we all have our demons. So we don't always sort of see clearly. And sometimes the answers are right in front of us. Do you understand? So I had so many questions later in my life. Like I was a year old when my dad passed or whatever. But there were certain things that I only found out like last year. Now, I'm going to give you something freaky. Like for argument's sake, I messaged my mom one day and I asked her, when is my dad's birthday? Only now, right?
Really?
So I didn't know when his birthday was. I did not know when the day he passed away. So here's something freaky for your ass. So she sends me a couple of days later. I'm sure that she probably looked for his death certificate or whatever. Sends a picture, whatever, all good and well. So I'm looking at the date of birth, and it's the 10th of the 10th, which is chill. There was nothing wrong with it. And then I was laying in bed, but I was like on my side, and my wife was laying next to me, and she peeked over, and she looked at me. She tells me, "Your dad died on my birthday."
No fucking way.
Away. So what is the coincidence? And so meaning that she was born 10 years after my dad passed away on the same day.
Sheesh.
What is the fucking chances of that?
Sheesh.
My bro, that was like heavy. That was heavy.
Yo.
That was heavy. So yeah, that was. I did obviously. I know what to make of it because I can take it for what it is. Like God took away and God gave me.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, and that's also one thing that I am, and what only a few people know that's in my company, is that I'm also very spiritual. I believe in the Bible, even though it's been written over and over, but I'm very spiritual in that sense. Know what I mean? So, even though I don't believe that none of us are perfect. So I don't believe that you should say, for argument's sake, a lot of people would say that you are contradicting yourself because look at what you do, look at your face, look at your body and all that. But I don't see it as that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just one of my points here.
Do you? Okay, I wanted to come to this later, but we're here now. Do you feel like you still so much stigma attached to tattoos?
I actually don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, and I've come to a point where I don't even defend tattoos anymore because I feel that I don't have to. The same as defending hip hop back in the day. It's like everybody thought that I was going through a phase, and why is these people swearing NWA or X-Clan or whatever the case may be, and but lo and behold, it wasn't a phase, because I still listen to hip hop, and I still love, and I'm forever grateful that I could even make an art out of tattooing. And just by the way, like the tattooing was like a light bulb moment in my life where I literally woke up one day and I thought to myself, I could possibly do this, right? And then what happened was that morning, it was a Sunday morning. Now, my mentor, before I knew he was going to be my mentor, was actually the first person that actually tattooed me, right? He had a shop in Observatory, and that time he was the only one that was actually tattooing there.
Okay.
So his name was Guy Flemmer. He
How long ago
passed.
was this?
That was probably about 15, 16 years ago,
Wow.
or something like that. And I remember that he still slept at the shop, but obviously nobody knew. But I knew that was just opposite Grote Skeer, just a few doors away from Texas, I think, the fisheries or whatever.
Yes.
There was a post office at first there, but nevertheless, I went there and he wasn't there, or he was probably sleeping. Monday morning, first thing, I went there and I asked him, Guy, can you give me an apprenticeship? And he said yes immediately.
Wow.
But the cool part of everything was that time I had my own business, meaning my branding business. So
Okay.
I was a boss on the one side and a boy on the other side. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But I didn't mind that. But nobody really knew that I was actually doing my tattoo apprenticeship or
wow.
whatever the case may be. So I didn't tell anybody. No. Yeah.
Wow. Was there a reason you never told anyone?
I think that there's just certain things like that you shouldn't tell. Do you understand? Because number one, I remember that there were so many people that did not believe in me. That why are you tattooing? Why, that's so stupid. Why would you do that or whatever? But I think that my timing inevitably in that significant time when I started tattooing was when tattooing actually took a turn for the better. I think my timing was just right, man.
Yes,
It
yes.
was, if I really think about it, because look, before that time, tattoo artists was seen as sort of like drug addicts or in a dingy place or problem people or whatever. But today, you even get like a sort of a Christian community on tattoo pages or whatever, which actually they are godly, if you know what I mean. That are, and 99% of the time, I can guarantee you, you can meet somebody that's fully tattooed from head to toe or whatever, and they got the smallest heart. Do you understand? And that's literally sort of proving the whole point of judging a book by its cover. Know what I mean? So, yeah.
I don't think I've ever met somebody who has ink that's an asshole. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
exactly. Okay, you do get assholes.
Oh, no, you do, but personally,
obviously.
my
Yes,
experience.
yes,
yeah,
yes.
my experience.
So I don't think ever that. Look, I tattoo doctors, I tattoo lawyers, from all walks of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, look, essentially, tattoos have become has always been a culture. But the beautiful part of tattooing is that nobody can claim tattooing because they cannot track where tattoos began.
Really?
Yes, nobody can claim it. But that's the beautiful part, because if somebody were to claim that it was theirs, we would be sitting with another problem like your racism and all that bullshit. Do you understand?
What do you call it? The freaking hell, what you call it? Cultural appropriation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So, but even from the Aborigines to all the tribes to Egypt to
Samoa.
all of them, they got, the mummies had markings on them.
Wow.
Know what I mean? So nobody can actually claim tattooing.
Yes, yes.
No, it belongs to nobody. And at the end of the day as well is that humans always had the fascination for body modifications without us knowing. So I'm going to tell you why. Think about it as a kid. I'm sure all of us have scratched ourselves purposely just to feel how it feels. Just think about it. Just with a needle or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe I was the only one. But that's what I did, was just to see what happens if you, will it bleed or whatever.
Okay, so you actually took a needle just to feel what it would like to get tattooed.
No,
Oh.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
You just
know
want
what
to
I mean?
feel the pain, or
Yeah, do you understand? But
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
like but I mean, that was random, and that
no,
wasn't
I
even,
did that too.
Yeah, exactly. Know what I
way
mean?
back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that we were always curious as the human race with regards to body modifications. That's why I'm very open-minded. Like, you get scarifications, you get implants where people put balls in their arms and in their head or whatever. Now, there's obviously certain things that's not for me. Like, I wouldn't tattoo my eyeballs or whatever, but I wouldn't frown on anybody that does it, because I mean, what is there? There's hardly anything that can surprise us today. Know what I mean?
So true.
But it's a good thing and a bad thing, because say hypothetically somebody gets, God forbid, a shot in front here. Our lives will go on. We will say, oh shit, what the fuck happened? Close the door, whatever. But it's not going to be like 20 years ago when a death was like a big deal. And like in the old, like where I grew up, in the colored communities, and they always say death comes in three. So wait for the threes to come, whatever.
Yeah.
But now it's 300s. Do you understand? So
we become
death,
so desensitized to death.
yeah, always. So which is not
Yeah.
obviously cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, times have changed dramatically with regards to that. Yeah.
I don't know. We're living in crazy times, but I think that the positive thing is also is that, especially going through like this whole COVID and whatnot, is that we can at least say that we have survived it. Look, we all got our theories. There's countless. Do you understand? So, but yeah. We got through it.
Yeah, we survived it, and I think we became tougher and stronger because of
Yeah.
that period that we all went through. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it brought us together more together, but
Yeah, I think it was a bit heartbreaking if I think about it also, and it will forever be heartbreaking. Like, say for argument's sake, like I'm not like a Christmassy person, but this first Christmas, it was myself and my son, my 2-year-old son, and my wife. We had Christmas lunch alone and whatever, but that's what we do. But I was just thinking about families that were sitting, that lost a year ago or 2 years ago, with regards to that. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because look, I was there. I don't know if you know my story, but I was there.
What happened?
2021? Yes. Yeah, August 2021. I got pneumonia and double pneumonia, and then I was in a coma for 45 days.
Holy shit.
So only the beginning of last year of 22, I started working. So I was in a coma. It was August. I wasn't feeling. So everything becomes juicy now. So this might be even worthwhile.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't know that.
yes. So what happened is that in August,
Okay.
I was quite fine. There wasn't really anything that was. I didn't have a cough. I didn't have a runny nose, whatever the case may be. But I didn't feel myself, man. So I took off a couple of days. So I wasn't even in touch with anybody, like with regards to any COVID or whatever the case.
Yeah.
And the one evening, I was feeling a little bit lame. And so we got this sort of ceiling fan or whatever, and for the life of me, I couldn't switch it on. So I told my wife, okay, there's something wrong. Know what I mean?
When you say you couldn't switch it on, were you?
I couldn't reach
You
it.
couldn't reach it.
I couldn't
okay.
reach it.
Were you
yes.
just exhausted?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't even, it was vaguely, but in essence, long story short, the next day we went to, and I'm just kind of just cutting to the chase here. I went to Victoria Hospital, and then got transported to Grooteskeer, and then my life changed forever.
Sure.
I saw my wife literally about twice in that time. The first time that they called her in, I was in a coma and she was looking at me, and they told her there is a chance that I will not make it. And she told them, look here, did you guys call me for this shit? Because he is going to make it. Now in this whole thing, now I know that, look, I am free. I'm not ashamed. I'm very sort of chilled on speaking about it, but it might even sound unbelievable because in the time that I was in a coma, I had a shitload of visions.
Really?
A shitload of visions. I remember all of the visions.
Really?
I remember all of it. And the freaky part of it is that two of the visions is actually materializing as we speak. That I already know the outcome. That I told my wife. And it's not really good things as well. Do you understand?
Wow.
There was more bad things than good things. But yeah, I had a shitload of... By the time I came home in October, I couldn't walk. I actually thought that I was never gonna be. I would never work again.
Shit.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Shit.
I couldn't pick up my baby. I couldn't hold a glass of water. I had to relearn everything. Know what I mean? But obviously, look, there was a moment where when I came to, I couldn't remember her name, but that was only for that moment. Do you understand? I knew I was married, but I didn't know where I lived. Stuff like that. Do you know what's so stupid as well is that I'm living in fucking hospital now. Obviously, I am not at my full senses, but I know what's going on. But I couldn't, like, if I would try to, and don't get me wrong, Grooteskeer, they are amazing. I know it's a public hospital and people think, but I couldn't get better service than what I got there because that people was. But I think that, like, for argument's sake, there was a lot of realistic shit that happened. Like, even before everything, I was laying there and I got the whole, there was a social worker that came there and told me, look here, this is what it is. Chances are you can make it, chances are you can't make it. So I had to, but I was obviously laying there without any feeling, but I had no fear. Know what I mean?
Okay.
For the life of me, I don't know why.
Did you feel comfortable with death, or you were comfortable with feeling?
Yeah,
no.
no.
You gonna make it, or
No, I was just content. Okay. Whatever the cards, wherever it was being. So the stupid thing about it was that obviously as I came to and whatever I would be asked like silly questions like, where are you, Mr. Kananashi? What day is it? How am I supposed to know what motherfucking day it is? Know what I mean? Or even where I am. But afterwards, obviously, I started taking note when the nurses were talking and tomorrow's Friday and stuff like that and whatever. So I started memorizing those things. But yeah, the visions were intense. I met God. Okay. And I know that might even sound, God had, in my vision, he had a suit on. He was a tall, slender guy. He was brown, smart. Yeah. Smart, let's just put it that way. Mm-hmm. He had sort of your skin tone. But just, elegant. Yeah. I had some disturbing visions, but I can discern what is sort of unbelievable and what is believable. Know what I mean? Like one of my fondest ones that I had was that there was like an easel in the water, and what happened was that
an easel. Sorry.
Easel, the painting, painting easel with the painting on it, but there was a woman standing next to the easel, but it was like a sea type of thing, man. So it was endless, and I was walking towards the easel and stuff like that, man. But here's the thing, here's the story. Prior to, just before I went into the actual coma, was that the doctor comes to me and he tells me, look, Mr. Kananashi, this is what's going to happen. We're going to have to do this. I needed a tracheostomy and all that and stuff like that. But obviously, I'm out of it. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So he tells me, I think it was early in the morning, about 1 o'clock or whatever. He tells me, look here, we need to do this procedure. Otherwise, you're not going to make it, because my oxygen levels were like cuck low. Like I'm there. Know what I mean? So I told him, look here, okay, let me phone my wife. So I call her, she's like off, not knowing what the fuck is going on, stuff like that. And I told her, okay, let's just think about it, let's regroup, or whatever the case may be. So I put the phone down, and then another doctor comes, but he comes more soft-spoken, and he was just clear, and he just told me, look here, bruh, if you're not going to do this, you're going to die.
Sure.
Know what I mean? So I phoned her, and all I told her was, I'm doing this. Know what I mean? And without even, because obviously they needed my permission.
Yes.
Know what I mean?
Yes.
Not even she or anything. They needed my permission,
she couldn't
because
sign on your behalf?
Yes, because I was still sort of conscious, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Then I gave the go-ahead. So this is the freaky part. So I was laying on my stomach, right? So the reason why I was laying on my stomach is because obviously for the air to obviously circulate better within the lungs.
Okay.
Know what I mean?
Okay.
So here's the freaky part. So in that moment, as everything is happening, they actually turn me over, and as I'm turning over, there's a few people coming, walking towards me, but not in sort of medical clothing, not in scrubs or anything. It was like random people walking towards me, like a dream type of thing, but I'm awake here and whatever. And as they obviously know their job. So I'm talking about the doctors or whatever. So they were talking cuck about this or that or their weekend, but they're obviously busy, but that is their routine.
Yes.
You understand? But I'm thinking to myself, do you guys know that I can hear you guys because you are busy with me? And is this, whatever you put in me, is it working? Because I can feel you working on me or whatever. But as I turned over, it felt as if my neck cracked or something, man. And it felt like I died just there.
Really?
That was the end of that, yeah. And even when they, just going back a little bit as well, as they wheeled me into the hospital, it was like I saw almost like guys sitting in a pub. They were smiling at me. I don't even know if that was real. They were tattooed up and whatnot, but it wasn't like a biker thing. It was just a casual lounge. But obviously, this is what I'm seeing as they wheeling me in. And my wife still said, you were protected from the time that you were going in. But everything, the timing, everything was in. Know what I mean?
Shit.
But you know what? I've been all over in that hospital.
Okay.
Right? And there was moments where there was a certain ward that I was in that was terrifying. Because people died left and right. Know what I mean? I won't even go. They just died.
Sheesh,
know what I
must
mean?
play with your mind a lot then.
But that's the thing. I didn't even, and that time I had my first drip in or whatever, and then by accident it came out, and then I bled like profusely.
Shit.
But the thing is this, they never even put that drip back again, because even to the end of me staying there, the doctors were even amazed that I didn't have anything that was holding me back.
Wow.
Know what I mean? I just had, and even by the time I eventually got my phone, that was, say, the last 2 weeks of me being there, my wife was laughing at me because we were doing a video call, and I'm thinking, why the fuck is this woman laughing at me? And the fact was that I was breathing without any help of oxygen for weeks already. So the oxygen thingy was laying like halfway.
Holy shit, and nobody even knew that it was disconnected.
And my wife was just like, when they wanted obviously to do the tracheostomy, they wanted to cut my beard. And my wife was like, you don't fucking cut his beard. Know what I mean?
Your wife really said that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, no. She was like, no, you don't cut his beard. No, no. So they just trimmed it or whatever. But yeah. Yeah, no. She fucking wasn't about the beard.
Your life is so alive. Like, don't fucking touch his beard. That is so funny.
Yeah, no. But yeah. I think that when all was said and done, I think one of the most profound moments was this. Nobody knew that I was coming home, but only my wife knew, right? And I still remember this clearly. So it's easy for me to explain it, but it's one of those movie scenes, man, where you actually had to be there. So what happened was that I was now getting ready to... So I'm skipping a lot of things, man, but this is the day now that I'm coming home. And I'm getting wheeled out. And as I turned the corner, but I was expecting to see her car, but I forgot that I even had a bakkie that time or whatever the case may be. And I'm seeing my wife there, know what I mean? Like standing with that beautiful dress on and whatnot that she specially bought for me.
Oh, wow.
And we just cried, know what I mean?
Wow.
But coming back to that as well is that I probably cried every day in hospital, and the doctors thought that I was losing my mind, and I told them, look here, as an artist you think you feel differently, so you automatically you a passionate person, do you understand? So you in essence are sensitive as well, no matter how hardcore you come over or whatever the case may be. So that was one of the defining moments for me. And then when I came home, my middle son, he did not know, he still lives with me. So my 21-year-old, he comes home and he didn't know I was home, and he saw me in the lounge and he fell to his knees, right? But my son, who was still at daycare, came home. He was like before he was 2, and his mom brings him into the room. I was laying in bed and he looked confused, almost wanting to cry and so forth, because I had a full head of hair with a moose hole in my head at the back, which I found out later, because laying in bed the whole time the hair wasn't growing.
So it wasn't great. Okay, got it.
But that was the most beautiful scene, was that she put him on my chest, and he was obviously confused because he couldn't really speak that time or whatever.
And I guess he kind of didn't recognize you as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then he obviously touched my hair, laughed, smiled, and we all cried. Know what I mean? And there was one time as well in hospital where I actually dreamt that she said that she was going to come visit me the next day, man. But it was a dream, but I didn't know. So I waited for her the whole day.
Oh, shit.
Thinking that it was reality. And I was mad at her because when we spoke, I told her, but you said that you were going to come. And she said, no, I did not. Know what I mean? Sure. But all I wanted to do was come home and know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. But I have to say it was a very... I always thought that I needed a break, right? But not a break like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's something
so,
else.
but I think that it just also put me and gave me more perspective on life. Not that it was like, it was life-changing, but life-changing in a sense of my thought process. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Like what's
They-
important, what's not important.
Yeah. So even like when it came to the drinking, once a couple of months went by, and I started having a drink here and there again. So I didn't stop that time. Know what I mean? That is one thing about me. I don't like to. I like to do things on my terms. Know what I mean? So that happened organically. Know what I mean? It happened with my time, and yeah. So that
Sheesh.
was. But in a nutshell, that was my story.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I just want to go back to the part where like they cracked your neck.
Yes.
Like you died.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
literally.
yes. Look, it obviously felt that way, but look, it was said that they have lost me. They did lose me a couple of times, but that I heard obviously afterwards. Know what I mean?
Sure.
So yeah, but I think that the you know what the also the issue is that a lot of people they were very supportive and they know who they are, man. But I think that the misconception is that then again, a lot of people thought that once I got home, everything was okay. But that is where the challenge began. Do you understand? The mind games, the will I be able to work again? Stuff like that, man. So I remembered I struggled from October when I came home, November, December. The very beginning of January, I met a doctor through my wife that she went to go see prior to just randomly, man, Dr. van der Ross Izat. And he literally saved me. I couldn't hold up my hands or my arms or whatever. And probably in 2 days after seeing him, he sorted my joint problems out.
Wow.
He could relate to everything because he had the same issues and stuff like that. So even still to this day, he is my mentor that I proclaimed, because I would swing things on him, like certain things that even if I need to speak to him, he would give me sort of advice. But he's like your master, your silver fox to a moose beard.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
like
a Gandalf character.
away,
Yeah.
like a teacher type of thing, but very
Yeah.
wise. So, but he saved my life. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The amnesia you experience, did they say that's normal often after going into a coma?
I wouldn't say it was amnesia because it was just for that moment.
It was just a moment.
It was
Okay.
just a moment,
Okay.
so everything just became clear. It's just that I couldn't, like within my visions or whatever, I saw a different place that I was living in. Do you understand? So,
Do you feel like it was another life you lived?
yes, no, there was some hectic shit that I saw. I saw dead babies in a bag, stuff like that. It was, and you must know that I don't believe in, like, I don't watch science fiction and shit like that. I'm not a fan of that. But I mean, the shit that I saw was heavy.
Shit.
Know what I mean? So yeah, it wasn't pretty. There's certain things that I didn't even tell her. Know what I mean?
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay, so how long did it take you to get back on your feet so you could work again?
Yeah, so basically in January I decided of 2022. So that was the beginning of last year. Then I decided to come back because remember that all our savings was depleted. Because remember the shop had to be paid, the rent had to be paid, and Mandy wanted me to come back in February, and I told her, if I do the math, we cannot afford, so I had to come back. So I tattooed her at the end of December, and it was obviously a very emotional experience because I did not know that I would be able to do it again.
Yeah.
So that was obviously between the two of us, that was like very, very hectic. But after that, then look, I had to obviously get back into the swing of things. And I think that long before this, the one thing that I have done is simplify my life. And what I mean by it is that I am not one for material things, not to say that there's anything wrong with it. If you want the finer things in life, that's chill, it's cool. If you can afford it, that's chill or whatever. But that is not priority for me. Like I got a motorbike, but people think if you drive a Harley, then it's a lot of money. That bike is worth 70K. I mean, no, 70K is nothing. Know what I mean? But I mean, there's a lot of things that I think, to be honest with you, when I first opened up my first tattoo shop in Lansdowne, now I used to have these goals where I would put on, okay, I want a motorbike and this and that. There's two things that I actually did. When I opened up my first shop, that was, I think 12 years ago, 13 years ago, the two things that I stopped, I did not want anything physical anymore, right? And number two, I used to wear a watch, but I then removed my watch because time wasn't an issue for me.
Oh, wow.
Because with the branding industry, it was all about deadlines. This job must go out, that job. So I've never woken up with an alarm ever.
Wow.
And I wake up like 4:30, like this morning I was up 4 o'clock reading. Know what I mean? Like I love reading,
yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah.
What books do you read?
I'm busy now with Be Water, My Friend of Bruce Lee. So I love philosophy. The book prior, I read The Prophet. And then I like your Mike Todd's. But obviously, thought-provoking stuff, man. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love that. I'm not really into fiction. I read a book recently also on fiction, but it's not. I like Jordan Peterson. I love. Yeah, no,
I'm busy reading his Beyond Order book right now.
Yeah, I read that. Is that the black cover one?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Black
need to
with a
get
white
that one.
print. Yeah.
Yes. Now I read the first one.
Oh yes, me too.
Yeah.
Me too,
So I got that. Yeah.
This is the follow-up to that book, yeah.
Yeah.
12 Rules for Life.
Yes. Yeah, that was dope. And the thing about it is that I actually set myself a goal, and I don't always meet it, but I set myself a goal where I read a book in a book a week.
Okay.
But there is times where I can't make it, but I'm not too hard on myself. Like this Be Water, My Friend, I'm actually not wanting it to be finished. That type of thing is like,
you want to save this book.
I just summer with it and whatnot.
Got
so,
you.
so yeah.
Just okay. I know we started at how you got into it, and then we took a major detour, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But let's go back to your apprenticeship. Like, how long did it take for you to learn the art, to be comfortable tattooing your first client, your first customer? How did that go about?
Yeah, I think that, to be honest with you, the actual the act of tattooing isn't the emphasis of the apprenticeship. Remember that whoever gives you an apprenticeship is gifting you with something that you would be able to carry for the rest of your life. So in essence, my apprenticeship was mopping, cleaning, shit like that. Do you understand?
Wax on, wax off.
Yeah, wax on, wax off, and to see if you got the patience to actually wait. Only my apprenticeship was about 2 years, and as I would say the last 6 months I started. Now you must remember that today we use pre-made needles that are like pre-sterilized and whatnot. So it is very convenient. But the time that I started, we had to make our own needles. So you get a box of 1,000 needles and you had to solder it and all that shit. So that was part of it as well.
Wow.
So that was also, but look, I always had a lot of patience, man. Know what I mean? So, but that was one of the most tedious times where you had to individually make needles and like just the whole day, know what I mean? With a soldering iron, used to use flux to actually make the solder stick to the actual needles. Do you understand? So what you are seeing
Wow.
that is sort of conveniently packaged and all neat, I had to do physically. So, but in theory, I don't regret that, because when I look at a needle, I know exactly how it's
Yes.
made. I can make it
Absolutely.
from scratch. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was, and obviously drawing is important. Know what I mean? You have to have um, the know-how to draw,
Yes.
because that would teach you contrast, that would teach you sort of proportion, stuff like that.
So you seen how the game changed over the
Yes.
years. You've
Yeah.
been there like from
Yeah.
early days, so to say.
Yeah,
Wow. You obviously appreciate the way it is more now because you understand the process of what you had to go through just to
Yeah,
make
no.
a needle.
yeah. I think that when it comes to, like you say, with the acceptance within the workplace, I think that I've seen it evolve where people, even in the corporate industry, whoever, has themselves said that it's more sort of. But ultimately, this, if I should die tomorrow, this is, I do not want to be known or remembered as a tattoo artist, but an artist. Know what I mean? Hence why, with regards to, I do my oil painting, I do work with pencil, charcoal, ballpoint, wire art, anything and everything that I can put my hands on. I will forever tattoo, but there is certain things that I want to diversify into as well.
Like all this you painted yourself?
Yes, yes. This is some of my new work.
This
This
is.
is
I think I'm taking a liking to this one more.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, and this
Yeah.
as well. I like the two
yeah.
face kind
Look,
of.
yeah, there is like a story behind all these, but that is soon to come.
Okay.
And obviously, like this one here, that's nicotine long.
Oh.
Of Westbank, man.
Yes,
the
yes,
MC.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah.
Did he sit for you or?
No.
Oh, you just took a
No.
photo?
Yes, I just took a photo and
Okay.
did it. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, but self-taught as a painter and whatnot. So yeah, I never.
Self-taught?
Yeah, I never took art classes or anything like
Really?
that. No way, no. And you must remember when I started drawing, there was no YouTube or whatever, and Googling and shit like that. So yeah.
Holy shit.
Mm.
I like. Did you like for me when you put it on a canvas, right? It becomes official. If you put it on skin, it becomes official. Like
Yeah.
just that confidence it takes to do that and
Yeah.
to have that vision and to say this is what I'm gonna do is something. It's brave. It's courageous. It's confident. It's like even even for me like to think of doing this like nah, I don't want to make a mistake or
Yes.
you know it's
Yes.
so intimidating so to say.
Yeah.
It's a completely different world from let's say writing or
Yeah, it's
you
it's
know.
forgiving. It's more forgiving. Like, yeah, no, I mean writing and
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like
because
that.
you can
It's-
erase.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Or you can do it over.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
revise that, but when it comes to like something permanent as a
Yes.
tattoo, it's like
Yes.
this is it. You know,
Yeah.
you've got to commit to this.
Yeah, I think that with regards to even like if we're talking about the tattoo industry, I can really say that I'm glad that I had the experience of business prior to the tattoo shop, where I could deal with people. So lo and behold, I'm actually an introvert, but I know how to switch on and off.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like if I don't have to speak, I don't speak. So I can be quiet maybe at home or whatever, talk a bit of shit or whatever the case may be, but I also like to be quiet and like I have no problem being sort of alone. Know what I mean? I'm quite happy with that. Do you understand? But within the industry that I'm in, it's like you cannot be like all like blinkers on and whatnot. Do you understand? You have to sort of render the customer service,
Yes.
the whole feeling good about yourself and stroking the ego and all that. Know what I mean?
Yes.
Because in essence, that is what people appreciate, that going a step further. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when it comes to clients, I don't just see them as that, because my purpose is not just to take your money and say, okay, bye-bye, or whatever. I want you to have the full experience. I want you to smile. I want you to laugh. I want you to cry. I want you to, know what I mean?
Express yourself freely.
And that is what happens here. And a lot of people have told me, even the type of music that I play, like the stereotype is the whole rock thing or whatever. Don't have anything against that, but here you will find an eclectic range of music, from Afrikaans to gospel to, know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a different vibe, a different energy, but I do that purposely as well. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because that is who I am. Like, people would laugh at my music. I listen to Chinese music, Arabic, and all that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think that we shouldn't just box ourselves in, because within our life, we would never be able to even consume a quarter or a third or whatever of what can be learned.
Very true.
And if you really think about it, how much time have we even wasted in our lifetime already? Know what I mean? So, yeah.
Your longest tattoo, like how long would you say your longest tattoo?
Per sitting or?
Per sitting, yes.
Per sitting, I sat for 12 hours.
12
my longest, yeah.
hours.
But normally I sit on a normal day, 8 hours on one person.
Really?
Yeah, even a normal day is 5-6 hours.
Sure.
So yeah, last week I did two, the Saturday and the Sunday I did 8 hours on one person, the same person.
Sheesh.
Yeah. So I think it's, and this is what I always tell my wife, it's like building stamina, man. Know what I mean? So although it's tedious, remember that I'm quite fine when it comes to working. Maybe take a 2-minute break, say after 4 hours, and do the next 4 hours. But you're not gonna get fuck all out of me after that. Then I am fucked up. Know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Then I'm like a zombie.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, nah, it's okay.
Leave me alone, I'm done.
Nah, I'm done.
Let me recharge.
I need to leave now.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. But I think it's a labor of love as well.
Yeah,
know what
for
I
sure.
mean?
You're
It's
obviously
definitely-
passionate about, you love what you do.
Yes, no, and I'm also very hard on myself as well. And but I think that it's maybe too hard sometimes, but I think I'll never get complacent with being okay, because the moment you are, then obviously you know, then you're going to be stagnant and you won't move forward.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You obviously, okay, so you pass on your gift to your wife, right?
Yes.
Your knowledge.
Yes.
When did she become interested?
I think that she was always interested, subliminally. Look, she is brilliant in beauty, and she taught beauty and everything. But I think that in deep down, I knew already. Even when we were dating, she actually drew a picture of me. So I knew already that she had it. So
Wow.
in essence, I still have more faith in her than what she has in herself.
Wow.
Do you understand? So I think that nothing is coincidental. Nothing, even that we are sitting here at this very moment. It's not a coincidence. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just part of life. Know what I mean?
Yes.
That I believe also that anything that is done with a pure heart is meant to be.
Absolutely.
But if there is that percentage of negative or impurity, then it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I always say that nothing good comes from waste, and we all can testify on that. If you're going to force it, then leave it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Must feel organic.
So, but she is exactly, but she's well on her way. She is doing quite
She's
fine.
busy right now with the
Yeah,
clients.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. So no, she's a natural, man.
Awesome,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's so awesome to see, you know. That's really like, not only has she supported you, but now she's also with you on
Yes,
this journey.
yes.
It's just beautiful to see that.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people are amazed that it's like, it doesn't mean that we in the same shop, that we are in each other's faces, because I've got work to do, she's got work to do. So and basically we work together and not for each other. We work for the same goal, but I mean, she can regulate however she wants to do a thing. And what we recently actually started, haven't been active as of yet because the timing was a bit out, but the beginning of December. Now, you know, December is always like hectic and
yeah.
whatnot, but we actually started our own foundation,
Oh wow.
the Kananashi Foundation, and eventually that will coincide with everything that we do with regards to the art or whatever. So we will be committing to arts and culture. I will eventually be giving free art lessons, stuff like that or whatever. So the foundation is registered and everything. I got my guy that he knows everything that's got to do with those things. But that is also one of the focal points of this year as well.
That's amazing. That's really
And it's giving back.
Yes.
So we're gonna do your normal stuff like the food runs and whatnot. But like I said, there is a big, huge project that we're working on, and that would be for November. So we're just putting all our efforts into that. So why not just prepare now ready for that and not chase our tail when it comes to that point.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's really awesome to see that.
Yeah.
Sure. It's not just making a donation to a charity, but you getting involved hands-on,
Yes.
taking an initiative, you
Yes.
are welcoming people to, basically you passing on your knowledge to people who want to
Yeah.
learn, who want
Yeah.
to get involved too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's so many talented people out there that just
Of
need
course.
direction. They just need to
course.
know how to hold a brush, or how to,
Yes.
you know, where to start, how to start sketching,
Yes.
how to
Yes.
channel the inspiration, the creativity.
Yeah.
You know, and it's amazing that you're doing this, like really.
Yeah, I think that you know what I cannot understand is this. You remembered when, say for argument's sake, when COVID hit and all that, the first thing that was out the door was the arts, right?
Oh yeah.
But now here's the thing. Just think about what makes people smile, what makes people laugh, what makes people cry is art.
Absolutely.
Now, then the question that I'm thinking is that why is it that even in our school curriculum, with regards to our normal schools, why is that not a subject?
It used to be, eh?
It used to be,
And they took it
but
away.
they took it away. So that tells me that art is not seen, and for the life of me, I don't understand it.
It's so contradictory, because they took arts away when it came to the pandemic, right? However, the first thing people did when it came to the whole period of staying at home
Yeah.
was watching movies,
Yes.
listen to music,
Art.
podcasts, whatever. Everything was art, entertainment,
Everything.
art.
Art.
But they would dim this light on the whole industry that gave
Yes.
them this entertainment that
Exactly.
added to their time at home.
Exactly.
You know, it's
Exactly.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why I say that I don't think that people actually realize that art is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
And I'm gonna actually get a little bit technical on you, on your ass. From say a vision perspective. So there's no camera in the world that can actually see what the eye sees, right? But here's the thing about what we see color, right? But here's what we actually see, which is art relatable, is that we see cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Those four colors create everything that we see.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So cyan, yellow, magenta, and black is what is printed in magazines. Okay, let's put it this way. Have you ever noticed in that knick-knack packets, you get those blocks where the colors are in? Like back in the day, man, like you would see that in the chips packet, there's like almost like
there
a
was
marking,
this, yes,
a
okay,
marking,
got you.
cyan,
Yeah,
magenta, yellow, and
yeah.
black. So that goes through the printer, but they just look at the blocks to see that the colors are maintained. But all that colors actually make the knick-knack packet.
Oh. That's deep.
Do you understand what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy.
So everything that you see, skin tone, whatever, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Like if you look at your skin tone, you would see, okay, let's do this. I'm going to show you, say for argument's sake, nah, I don't want to show you a painting. Something, so, okay, you see the green wall there.
Okay,
right?
yes.
What do you see within the green?
Within the green,
Within the green, just the green, just the green.
I see green,
Yes,
and I see like a lighter green.
yes. Okay, now I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you see blue in there?
No.
Now, just look closely. Just look closely.
I'm
Do you see
looking.
blue? Just see blue in there? Do you see a little bit of black in there?
Black in the green.
Yeah, in the green, yeah.
No.
No, but that's the thing. You need to kind of see it within the color.
Okay.
I can see it.
You
yeah.
see it because you know.
Yes.
Right? You
yes.
understand that.
Because I did color mixing as
Okay.
well. Do you
But to the
understand?
naked eye right now with
Yeah.
no sort of education,
yeah.
I'm not gonna see that.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
just gonna see green
Yes.
and the different shades of green,
Yes.
but not I'm
Yeah.
not gonna see the
Yeah.
black and the
Yeah,
blue.
I don't have the perfect example just to kind of open your mind, man. Know what I mean? But yeah, but nevertheless, it doesn't, it's near. But yeah, it boils down to everything is art. That is my
That's
point.
true.
Know what I mean?
Even the building, the way the building was designed,
Everything.
is art. Like
Everything.
a
Everything.
chair, you know,
Yes.
somebody designed that chair.
Yeah, no.
Like
exactly.
this very chair,
Yes.
this floor, the
Because
tiles.
to make it practical and everything, it's workable.
A creative process was followed.
Yes.
Had to be.
Definitely. Yeah.
But it's taken for granted every fucking day.
Yeah, and I don't think that we as artists, especially like you said about the it's more popular. Like say, our art is more popular abroad or whatever. But what we don't also understand is that there is so much that is within Cape Town, South Africa, that we can self-sustain ourselves, but that it boils down to us. We will stay a third world country. Know what I mean? Because that's just how it's unfortunate, man. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so easy to actually support an artist, even with
So
regards
easy.
to and it's just by sharing
Just
even.
I was gonna get to that. Just a simple
No,
share.
yeah.
And share is free. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I always get so like I don't know frustrated when I see like they won't share your work, but they can share a meme. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can share like a stupid meme, and
Yes.
that's okay.
Or international artists.
Yeah, exactly. People don't even know.
Yes.
You know, it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just so
Nah.
weird. It's just
And-
so
and-
ridiculous.
And it really costs you nothing. And I'm not saying that you, obviously, we can't like everybody
No, you
that's
can't.
that is local.
Yeah.
You got the freedom and the right to whatever.
Obviously.
But there is more that you like than what you don't like.
Yes.
So why not just
Yes.
promote that?
Yes.
Know what I mean?
No, so true. So true. But I don't know when that's going to change, that mentality from our people specifically.
But I think it's a human thing, though.
You think it's just human nature?
It's a human thing. Look here, let's call a spade a spade. They like to say that coloureds are basically the ones that hate on each other.
Yeah.
But I actually think it's actually a South African thing.
Is okay.
I've thought about it, and I really think it's a South African thing. Know what I mean? It's in general, man. I don't know what it is. And look, there's many factors to it, but
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah, it's a complicated issue. It's not just one brush paints everyone. Everyone
Yeah.
has different opinions on the matter and
Yeah.
the reasons why they don't support.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, it's like also the more you say it, you're actually manifesting it. So if you're going to say, okay, colors are like that, you actually saying it and it becomes comes to light.
Yeah, and you
So,
start believing in this thing.
Yeah, it's like you contradicting yourself as well, because say for argument's sake, you speak about people that gossip. But speaking about people that gossip, isn't that gossiping?
It's gossiping, exactly.
Do you understand?
That's so true.
So-
I have this thing, like, if I say something to somebody about you, let's say for example you, right? It must be something that I'm willing to tell you face to face.
Yes.
You know, it mustn't be
Yes.
something negative.
Oh,
Like
wait.
if I speak to you and I was like, yo, like, his artwork is amazing.
Yeah.
You should come to his store and check it out and
Yeah.
check out his services, you know. But I'm not gonna, like, if I say something negative, I'm gonna be like, can I say that to you?
Yes.
You know, am I gonna be man enough to say it to you face to face?
Yeah.
That's my thing. And if I do something negative, I must be man enough to say, look, I said this
Yes.
about you. I feel bad what I said.
Yes.
So that's my thing when it comes to
Yeah.
gossiping. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but that's fucked up, yeah. There's no words for that. Nah. I think the world would be a better place if everybody just mind their fucking business. Know what I mean?
So fucking.
Nah, for real, nah, bro, nah. But yeah,
Yeah. I like that. Everyone must just mind their fucking business.
yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay, so who tattoos you though?
Yeah, look, I got a friend. Look, remember that I've been tattooed years ago. So I would say that my tattoos are not even relevant to the styles that are out there. But I think one of the things that really motivated me to actually tattoo is that I was also sick of the stigma with regards to where I come from, with regards to colored people, that we cannot afford to have proper tattoos. And I was on that mission to prove
Was
that
there
wrong.
stigma like that? Really?
Yes, like I don't mean to sort of. There was a time where only a certain race would have better tattoos than the other. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it has changed, because now everybody can have good tattoos. There's no excuse to have a bad tattoo anymore. Know what I mean? So. Look, back in the day, it was seen as chappies and all that and whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there's any excuse, because there's more than enough education out there to make the right choice. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, we should also accept the fact that some people just want a tattoo for the sake of having a tattoo. They don't even care about the quality, which is also fine.
Yeah.
Because that is your thing. Know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's also fine, yeah. I think that in essence, in life, we should also know our worth. So sometimes it's better, yes, we all need the work or whatever, but sometimes it's better to walk away and say, okay, I can't compete with that price.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Yes.
Know what I mean?
Yes.
Because you know how much work there is involved, even in what you do, or Michael does, or whoever does. If you know that what you are worth, you should not undermine yourself. Do you understand? And actually be yeah, you should just know your worth.
Yeah, that's so true and it's so important. And a lot of people hope that you don't know your worth.
Yes.
Yeah, they have this feeling like, okay, let me try my luck and let me
Yeah.
see, you know. But it's important to know that, to know your value, know your worth.
Yeah, I think that even as a people, we think that certain things are a luxury. Like, say, going into a restaurant and then give you bread. The bread is on the table.
Oh, yeah.
That is like, it's not a fucking luxury. You deserve that.
Exactly.
Know what I mean? That is
Yeah.
not a favor.
Yeah,
That is not.
you pay for that,
Yeah,
even though
I
it's
mean-
free, but you're paying for that.
Yeah, that's not. Nothing is free.
Yeah,
know what I
nothing,
mean?
yeah.
So yeah, I'm still going to
Yeah.
bill you after this.
Exactly.
But yeah, but I think that we should to also know that we all are entitled for the finer things in life. Know what I mean? Whether it be caviar or whatever. Know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think we all deserve that.
that's so true. Yeah, man, we can't just,
Yeah, we're too complacent, man. And
and especially for how hard we work, you know, I think we need to spoil ourselves in some way and not just think, nah, that's not good enough, I'm not good enough for that, or,
yeah.
you know, we need to enjoy and experience those things.
Yeah, I think that it has also got a lot to do with the old school mentality, and unfortunately, it was carried down. So you would, somewhere along the line, we all experience this, where somebody was talking about their boss's car, how dope the boss's car is, and how but he hasn't got a fucking car. But you must see my boss's car. Nah, my boss's car,
Soos hulle sê,
that man,
dis breek op skuld.
and that man has got the moose joint, not the man joint scene.
Yeah.
He's happier for that man's.
Yeah,
Know what I mean?
There's still people,
No,
like that
that's
out
what I'm
there.
saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
that's so funny.
So yeah, but yeah.
After you had that experience, right, being in a coma and basically almost dying, do you feel, okay, I know you said the whole time thing, you stopped wearing a watch. Do you feel like just different, like the way you live your life and the way you think and the way you interact with people? Is there this sense of gratitude now about you? And
Yeah, I think that it has changed me, but that change came with a build-up many years ago. But that is not the reason why the profound change happened. What happened to me gave me more clarity, though. Do you understand? And clarity as in, I'm actually thankful that it happened. There was only once where I remembered that I was in the bathroom at home during my recovery, and I just said once, why me? And never again. But I found peace within what happened. I never actually felt, I'm actually more thankful than anything else. I wouldn't even change the experience. Know what I mean? Because I definitely see things differently. But I've always had, but I mean, the sense of comfort. You know that the ironic part of everything is that every time the doctors asked me, "Can I get you anything, Mr. Kananashi?" and I would always answer the same thing: "I want to go home. Want to go home," every time. But you know what? I still remember, and I told my wife this, is that last 2 weeks, I actually found comfort in the place, the space that I was. Wow. So I was almost scared coming home. That's how comforting it was.
whoa.
But I think that was the lesson as well. Know what I mean? That I actually found comfort in the place that I most wanted to get away from.
Wow.
Know what I mean? And that also, like, even though it was a traumatic experience, but I can look at it and see the comfort in it as well. Like the beautiful struggle, like an unhappy smile. Know what I mean? Like that, man. So, in essence, I could even call it the ultimate peace.
Wow.
Because in one of my visions, I was told, you are dead. And I was thinking to myself,
In,
this actually feels cool. This is actually not that bad. Because in all my visions that I had, nobody was actually, couldn't hear me. They could see me, but they couldn't hear me. Know what I mean?
wow.
And they blatantly ignored me as well. But
Can I ask you, who told you that in this vision that you were dead?
it was somebody random.
Okay.
Yeah, it was somebody random. But I still remember, and that's one thing that I tell everybody. And like I said, I am no prophet and I do not profess to know whatever God's plan is. But all I know, and this I can guarantee you, we don't have to be afraid of death at all. I would go as far as to say, and this was one of the conversations I had with my dietitian in the hospital that taught me how to eat again and whatever, that we, myself and her, shared the same sentiments where we actually said that I actually feel that I envy somebody that passes away because they are in a space where I don't think that have you ever been present in a childbirth?
No.
Okay, so childbirth is probably one of the most mind-blowing, probably the top 3 moments in an individual's life. And that feeling of death is the top 3. Hands down, hands down. Like I would tell everybody that even lost somebody, that they don't have to despair, they don't have to worry. That person is happy.
Wow.
That person's happy. I can testify on that.
Yeah. A lot of people who had psychedelic experiences feel the same way that you do about death. After they had that experience, they feel at peace. Wow. Shoo. That's heavy.
Nah, but it is.
That's heavy.
It is, yeah. Look, like I said, I've started writing down my visions and stuff like that.
You still have them?
No, I remember everything. I remember
you're
everything.
just remembering and you making
I'm
notes.
just writing down or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't even think that I would be able to write it down in a lifetime, to be honest with you.
So many you had.
So many.
Holy shit.
You know, I mean, I spoke to since the day that I came home for a few months, I spoke to my wife every day about my visions. But I haven't even told her everything.
Whoa.
There's certain things I won't even tell her.
Sure.
Because it's that bad.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 Wow. Okay. How many do you remember? Do you know how many tattoos you've done in your life?
No.
Do you remember how many people?
No.
Is
We had this discussion a couple of times, and if you could maybe say mark it as 365 days in a year, let's make it a total of say 300 a year, but not 300 a year because there's times where you do say more than once or whatever. So make it 350 times say then maybe 3,500 plus maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
Fuck.
No, it's
Yeah.
basically, I would say 4,500, 5,000 in that mark.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Wow. Sure, that's a whole lot.
Yeah, and remember as well is that a tattoo, irrespective of the size, is a tattoo. So if you're talking about, say, a back piece, that constitutes as one tattoo.
Okay, got you.
But it's a moose tattoo.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So yeah.
Just okay. Fuck. Yes. This is what I wanted to ask you. I saw like your this work that you do where you somebody had a tattoo before,
Yes.
not happy with it,
Yeah,
whatever
the
reason.
cover up.
That's what you call cover up, and then
Yes.
also somebody had a scar and they want
Yes.
to cover the scar.
Yes.
Like that's amazing that you do. How you transform.
Yeah.
How you transform.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's not always an easy thing, but look, I even started tattooing from Menenberg, doing a lot of cover-ups, obviously there. Then I used to tattoo at bike rallies, but I always knew in my heart that wasn't the type of artist that I wanted to be. Not that I got that there's anything wrong with those type of artists. All I knew was that I wanted to have my own shop. But when it comes to cover-ups, I do cover-ups still a lot and so forth. Very tricky, but anything is doable. So the only thing is that people don't understand that when it comes to cost and whatnot, it's not that I'm working on a blank canvas or whatever. So it's way more technical, yes.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
The one, I think you posted it midweek. This lady had a scar on the middle back.
Oh yeah, the whole,
And then,
yeah.
and then she had a
A
plant.
rose.
Oh, it was the
Yeah,
rose. Yeah. That was amazing.
That was actually, you know what? She left the concept up to me.
Oh, really? She gave you free rein?
She gave me free rein. So here's the thing. That scar was she had cancer. So the way I wanted to depict it was that something came out of the trauma and grew into a beautiful thing.
That's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope.
And then you were mentioning about the future. Look, my future endeavors obviously will be that I will be concentrating a lot on my paintings and stuff like that, because I will reiterate and say that I want to be known as an artist,
Artist, yes.
in general and not just a tattoo artist.
You don't want to be put in a box.
I don't want to be boxed in, but that is, so there's going to be big things happening, big things happening.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Like I really love what you do. Like I don't have any ink.
Yeah,
You probably know.
No,
but
sure.
when I see people and I see the art on people, I admire
Yeah.
it. It looks so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The detail, especially going into that. And
Yeah.
It's insane, and just coming here, I can see the art on the walls.
Yeah.
I can see the graffiti on the
Yeah.
walls.
Yeah.
That wall.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You are insanely talented.
Thank you.
I saw some of the sketches. You got one of Heisenberg over there.
Yeah.
People don't know Walter White from Breaking Bad, and it's amazing. Just
Yeah.
the artistry involved. I mean, so
Yeah.
I hope people remember you for being an artist, because you are definitely
Yeah.
an artist. You know.
I think that just lastly as well is that with regards to even whatever we do, remember that this is more than just putting needle to skin or whatever. This is actually also in essence a spiritual journey, meaning that we work by ethics as well. So meaning that I wouldn't just do any tattoo on anybody. So if it's say satanic, racist, whatever the case may be,
Yes.
you can offer me $1 million or whatever. I will not do it.
It's a lot of money though.
No, but I won't do it.
Okay.
No, on
Yeah.
a serious level, no.
Yeah.
I will not do it.
Yeah.
I have been approached
Really?
with that and stuff like that, but I will never, because remember, by me doing that, I will then be putting my energy within that tattoo and I'm all about energy as well. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I believe in energies. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I don't want to be involved in that. Know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes so much sense. I know what you mean with energy. Like,
Yeah.
we have these vibrations, and the moment
Yeah,
we walk
no.
into a room or we meet somebody,
There we go.
feel that energy. And
Yes.
it's up to us to listen to it, to say, I'm not gonna fuck with this person or get involved with this idea because of that energy, or what, decide and go against that feeling. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I think as children, when we're children, we tend to lean more into those intuitions. But for some reason, the older we grow, we don't listen to ourselves,
Yes.
and we just fall into these traps, so to say,
Yeah.
and blindly, you know, even though we have been warned by our bodies, our minds, our
Yeah.
energies.
Yeah, I think that also it works both ways, because, say hypothetically, if I had to know, if somebody had to tell me certain things at a certain age of my life, say when I was 16 or whatever, and say mistakes that I made, but before I made the mistake, if somebody were to tell me, Brad, look here, if you're going to do that, this is going to be the consequences. Well, I have listened. No, I wouldn't have listened. I don't think none of us would. So it's kind of like, it's inevitable. We need to learn.
We have to make our own mistakes.
Yes. So yeah, I think that's just part of life.
Yeah, man. But thank you so much for allowing me in your space and for being on here, being on this platform. I thank you for sharing so openly with me and so freely. I didn't expect that, but
Yeah, no.
I appreciate it. Not everyone's comfortable being so open, so thank you for being so honest and open.
Nah,
over
it's all
here.
good.
Where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, you
And
can get me on Instagram, Tattoos by Kananashi.
Okay.
And then on TikTok would be Kananashi Tattoos. And then on Facebook is Kananashi Tattoo Shop. But I am busy also with my website, but that would be for my art, and that would be launched in May.
Okay.
So yes.
Awesome. And where can people come to the store if they need?
Yeah, we are in Southfield, and the best way to actually get me is just the normal WhatsApp.
Okay.
And then, but I've been here in the shop for 11 years. So yeah, Southfield opposite Chili Bar.
Okay.
Everybody knows where Chili Bar is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a WhatsApp number that people can
Yes,
reach you on?
072-2135-072.
Okay. I'll put all of the information at the bottom of the screen. But thank you so
Perfect.
much once again. I appreciate it so
Sure,
much.
brother.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What you doing out in these streets, Leroy? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out? What you doing out? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out in these streets, Leroy? We in these streets.